This is Brother Jamal coming to you. Um, I want to first start off with the motto that we use at KUCB radio station. Um, our motto is truth is the wealth of freedom, and we communicate to educate and organize. Once again, truth is the wealth of freedom, and we communicate to educate and organize. We had a nonprofit, non-commercial radio station here in Des Moines, Iowa for about 20 some years, and it was 10-watt education purpose. That was mainly what we focus on. Once again, our motto is truth is the wealth of freedom, and we communicate and educate and organize. Now, we have a book that's coming out, inshallah. We'll be letting you know more about that in details, but we have a book that we have put together. We completed it, and the book is about Urban Community Broadcasting Company, which is KUCB radio station. So we let you know more about that as we get into that. About the date that we'll probably be doing some book signing and different things around here in Des Moines, Iowa. I have something that I wrote down on my notes, and I just want to kind of go from this to bring you this little short talk this evening. Um, I asked the question. I simply posed the question. Um, with us having to deal with, and I'm talking about 1940, 1950, and I'm seeing a repeat of history began to repeat itself again. And so the question I simply ask you, why wouldn't we, um, why wouldn't we uh, fight back? Why wouldn't we fight back if we were faced with Jim Crow and segregation? Why we would not? Why is it that we wouldn't fight back? We fought back then. So we are faced with the same thing as we speak right now. So why wouldn't we fight back? Why wouldn't we have groups and organizations and people to stand up and fight back? Because look, segregation was wrong. Jim Crow was wrong. And anything that we saw at that particular time that we thought that was to the detriment of the black community and black people and poor people, black and brown people, why wouldn't we fight back? Why wouldn't we have groups and organizations? It would only make sense that we would fight back. So here we are in 2025. We have a repeat of history again. And we have the same kind of Jim Crow, the same kind of white supremacists, the same kind of attitudes that we had then. So why wouldn't we stand up? Why wouldn't we fight back and stand up and fight against oppression, fight against racism, fight against bigotry, all those things that you can think of and some more. So why wouldn't we fight it back? You know, and at the same time you hear people trying their best to blame black people for everything. Now we had a brother here. I consider him to be a brother. That was a superintendent for Des Moines Public School in Des Moines, Iowa. He was arrested the last couple of days, and they came up with all kind of charges against him. And look, one of the things that Brother Malcolm said, it holds true then, and it holds true today as we speak. One of the things that Malcolm said, that they tried to character assassinate you, like they did with our brother, like they did with this brother, Des Moines superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools. He's from Sudan, I think, one of the African countries. I want to say Sudan. He got arrested. And so what they did in doing that, they set out to character assassinate him. Said he had a whole bunch of money in the car. Said he had a gun in the car. All kind of things to character assassinate him, to make it appear to the public that this brother had a bad character. See, and Malcolm said that's the first thing they always do is character assassinate that person and go at him to assassinate the character, precisely what they have did to this brother. So we ought to be supportive of him. We ought to do everything we can to fight against the Jim Crow, the kind of white supremacist behavior that we see being carried out. And it's not, yes, this brother, the ICE, this group called ICE, ICE or ICE, whatever they call themselves. This is what we see going on. This is across the country. And so what they are doing is targeting certain individuals to go at them, to railroad them, and we believe that's all this was with this brother. See, that's all it was. And so we say that we should stand behind him. We should support him. 100% we should be behind him and make sure we support him. And I'm sure by now that they have an attorney for him and an investigation to investigate into this, because we believe it was a setup. We believe they framed this brother and set up. And this is why I'm saying, why wouldn't we fight against injustice? Why wouldn't we fight against wrongdoing? Why wouldn't we fight against evil and wickedness? Why wouldn't we see the devil fight against the Satan and the devil? Why wouldn't we fight against him? See? And this is what we have to do. The other thing I just want to say to brothers and sisters, wherever you may be, wherever you may stay, it doesn't make a difference if you're from another country. You know, if you're black, you're a brown person. You could be a black person in this society. People need to know their rights. You know, people need to know their rights. This is a serious thing because oftentimes people don't know their rights, and they are able to go to people's homes. And we always tell people, whatever you do, do not open your door. Once you open the door and let these people in, they can go in, they can plant, they can search, they can do anything they want to. We're saying you don't have to talk to them. See, you don't have to answer any questions. And you need to be careful about talking to them and telling your kids, you know, not to answer the question, not to be giving them no information, you know. You have a right to remain silent. See, because whatever you say, yes, they will use it against you. You have to be clear about this. So there's a need. We have to make sure we have to teach and educate our people on the need to know their rights. That's really important. There was a brother, Malik Shabazz. He's in the D.C., Baltimore area. I know he was holding some workshops. He was holding some teach-ins where he was teaching about people knowing their rights. We need to have the same thing here in Des Moines, Iowa, where people know their rights. They know the ifs and ands about it. If they're stopped in the car, if they're stopped and want to search their car, want to search their home, want to question them. There's certain rights that you have, and people need to know that. See, let me also say too, may the soul of Assata Shakur, may her soul rest in peace. This sister was a member of the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, and so the word in the news we got that she passed away in Cuba. I'm sad to see that she passed away, but part of me, I'm glad that Allah took her in Cuba, so she wouldn't have to come back here. You know, I don't know if you guys know, they had put a $2 million bounty on her head for anybody to snatch her up, and they were going to try to bring her back here and try her for some state trooper that got killed in Jersey, you know, some years ago. But there's no proof to that. See, for all we know, they might have did it themselves, and to set her up because they knew who she was. She was a member of the BLA. She was a member of the Black Panther Party, a real active member, real outspoken, critical of this racial regime here in the U.S., critical of colonialism. See? Yes, she was. She spoke out against it all the time. Every chance she got, she spoke out. Now, for people that don't know about Assata Shakur, you need to go get some information, get a book and read on her life before you go to running your mouth, before you go to talking about the Black Liberation Movement, the BLA, before you go talking about the Panther Party. Get some books and read and know what you're talking about before you get on social media, before you get on YouTube, running your mouth, running your trap, and not knowing what you're talking about. See, that's what I see people doing, is running their mouth about Assata Shakur. If you didn't know about her, read about what she was involved in. Like I said, she was involved in the Black Panther Party and the BLA. Now, I had contact with the Black Liberation Army, and there's some things that I wouldn't go into, some things I wouldn't say. But one thing I can say about the BLA, I remember back in the day when something went down, and the white supremacists, the white system would do something. I remember how the BLA would take care of it. Nobody asked any questions. Nobody told anybody what they do. Everybody knew what the assignment was. You looked up and it'd be taken care of. That's how the BLA operate. And like I said, there's so much that I won't go in details and say. There's so much that I won't talk about. But I do know the BLA was serious. They was a serious group of brothers and sisters. They was a serious. I mean, they were serious. They was on it. You know. And if you don't know anything about it, then don't be getting on social media. Don't be getting on YouTube or different outlets and running your mouth about the BLA, running your mouth about the Panther Party. You don't know what they were about. You don't know what their mission was. You don't know what their work was. But I just wanted to bring you this message. And we will post this video, try to get it out to as many people as we can, as many outlets as we can. And inshallah, we'll be coming back, bringing you more talk about the movement, about this time that we're in, and some of the things that needs to be done, especially as it relates to the youth, to our young people. Once again, our motto is here: truth is the wealth of freedom, and we communicate to educate and organize.